Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? I have Kalifa coming to join us live today. I have sent her an invitation, and this is how we roll. Everyone, questions ready. Okay, let's accept Kalifa in the house. She's joined us. Woo-hoo. Sideways.
Hold on.
Yeah, you need to bring your camera this way. Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, you look stunning, babe. Look at that
Thanks.
gorgeous
So
mama.
do you.
Woo-hoo. Looking good. Thank you so much for joining us, Kalifa.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm so excited about this. I get to chat with my girl on a Tuesday morning. It's fun.
Yeah. LOVJOY Mama in the house. So good, so good. So, how is life staying at home? Stay at home, mama. How is it nurturing and loving your babies and taking care of the house and husband and everything? Tell us a little bit about Kalifa's life.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's great. Like it's motherhood. I mean, it's exciting, it's scary, it's busy, it's everything rolled into one. I'm really enjoying my maternity leave right now. I am trying to balance taking care of my 1-year-old son who's running around and also trying to pursue my own personal goals, working on my business and things like that. So it's a lot, but I'm learning to just take things one day at a time.
Perfect, exactly. Enjoying the present moment. And shall we share about how we met, how we found each other? Should we talk a little bit about our Elevate Network event and how about amongst all the crowds we were attracted to each other and we stick to each other. And I think this 12 weeks on this competition has really brought us closer, right? We experienced such intense level of information and education, and then
Yeah.
growing our business and then learning about ourselves in the process, how we are responding into this kind of pressure, right? I felt like it was tremendously
Oh my gosh.
tremendous pressure to get things done in a specific timetable. So yeah, we did it. So here we are, we're collaborating, we're reuniting our forces. I'm so excited, and that we are able to serve our mamas, because we both want to take care of mamas, whichever stage they are in motherhood, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us a little bit before we met, a little bit, how was Kalifa's life before Elevate, before we met,
Okay.
we got together?
Sure. I mean, so I'm a registered dietitian. I always had a passion for nutrition. So I decided to pursue like my studies in actually nutritional biochemistry. So it wasn't the kind of nutrition that we think of now. It was really scientific on a cellular level. And then I knew I wanted to help people. So that's when I really decided to do human nutrition. So that was great. Like I work as a clinical nutritionist and I've worked in hospital settings, outpatient settings, residences. And until that point, I hadn't really felt like I tapped into my true passion or purpose. But then I became a mom. I became a mom and I had a really tumultuous, let's say, delivery. So my pregnancy for the most part was fine. But then I got diagnosed with preeclampsia and I ended up giving birth to my daughter 2 months premature. And so, like, as a first time mom, I'm sure you could relate. Like, there's so much things that you're trying to learn. There's so much things that it's like you're a completely different person, right? You're trying to navigate this new phase of life, but then throw in uh, diagnosis and like emergency C-section and whatnot. So I was dealing with a lot of things. But I would say that that tough time in my life, that highly stressful time in my life, like caused me to tap into what my purpose was, which was to help moms who are
Yeah.
going through the toughness that I was feeling.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up becoming a certified breastfeeding specialist because I had such a hard time with my breastfeeding journey with Dynasty because she was so small. And then I said I'm going to take things a little further in my profession and specialize in prenatal nutrition. So it's nutrition that's really, really highly focused on women, either preconception, so dealing with fertility during pregnancy, and then postpartum.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
And the book, right? The book, tell us where the book was
Oh,
born in this all this life.
yeah. So my book, here it is for those who
Yes,
don't know about it. It's called
yes,
Eating These Foods Makes Me. And so the seed was initially planted when I would be going day in and day out. I would spend days and nights in the NICU, in the neonatal, oops, sorry about that, in the neonatal intensive unit with my daughter. And I
yes,
couldn't do much, right? She was all hooked up to things. She was in an incubator. So basically, like, what I did was I sang to her, I prayed, I read to her, I pumped milk, but like that to me was like what I could do for her. And so I got really, really interested in children's books. I was reading to her like crazy. And I was like, I'm a nutritionist. Why wouldn't I read nutrition books to her? And so in trying to find one, I realized there wasn't really many out there. So I was like, oh, there's a need for this. And so that's kind of how it came about. So that was the initial seed. But then, you know, I like as I explained, her feeding journey was hard. So like even when it came time to now test her with solid foods and whatnot, um, like she was always picky. So I was like, okay, even more so, we need a
yeah,
book that's gonna help picky eaters, parents of picky eaters. So that's really I decided no, I'm gonna go through and write this nutrition book that's gonna introduce little ones like from ages 0 to 6, really young minds
perfect,
to the
perfect. Yes, I have this book. It's signed, guys. It's the top. My daughter has it. I couldn't find it because she's really looking into it. So amazing inspiration and story behind the creation of your first, book. Also award winning, right? It was awarded,
world.
right? You need
Yeah.
to
It
say
was
these
awarded.
things, Mama. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm really proud about that. So it actually won the Mom's Choice Award, which is a highly prestigious award. It's not only for books, it's like anyone who has a product that's geared towards children, whether it's toys or anything. And so my book was selected and it won this Mom's Choice Award. I have the little badge of honor there. And so, yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting that like my first book was able to get such high recognition. So, yeah.
Amazing. I'm so proud of you, Mama. And this is where Lovejoy comes in. We want to nurture this mom who's going through the same journey as Kalifa went, because she has the experience, she has the knowledge, and she wants to educate mamas who are desperate and feeling hopeless right now, right? You mamas, we
Yeah.
see you, we know the need is there, we want to help you. We know what it's like when you're breastfeeding is struggling and it's always hard and you're just about to quit. Don't give up. We have the resources here. We have Kalifa. She's going to be making her website ready very soon. She's coming into our Lovejoy app very soon as well. 2024 is the big year for all the Lovejoy mamas, and through her support and education that she's going to offer through the app, if you needed a special personalized one-on-one care, which she's not doing yet until her maternity leave is over, but she will be able to assist you through her digital resources that she's created. And you guys, Lovejoy Mamas, will get like 20% off. And all the mamas that come from Kalifa, you're gonna have your Kalifa 20 code to get to do Pilates with Lovejoy for 20% off. Yes,
Ah,
we are very excited to have Kalifa in the Lovejoy Mamahood. We need
ooh,
to really, everything we have experienced as moms is not to be wasted. You know, we need to share that. We need to give hope to moms who are isolated, who feel really in distress. They feel like there's no one out there. And to be honest, there is. We're going to have everything in your pocket. A Lovejoy Wellness app is going to be in there, accessible for you. How to move, how to breathe, how to take care of your little ones, how to give them the nutrition they need, because Kalifa has been there through this journey with her little one. So she's going to have that information there for you. And
yeah.
she's still breastfeeding, right? You're still
I
breastfeeding?
am. I'm still breastfeeding my 1-year-old son. And so, like, that's so special because I think back that if I had given up when I wanted to, like, I wouldn't have been able to say like, wow, like I made a year breastfeeding my son, even with Dynasty. So she weaned herself off the boob. Like she was a special child, but she she like I if I had given up, I wouldn't have been able to give her the best nutrients that she needed in such a critical condition. And it took it to another level. I was able to donate. I was able to actually build up my milk supply enough to a point that I could donate to other kids who needed it. And so all that to say is when things look rough and they look bleak, seek out the help that you need. Seek it out. I know it's really hard, and that's why I started my business. That's why I started Kalifa Nutrition. But keep pushing to your goals. All you need to do is find somebody who knows how to do it, and they'll be able to help you. So don't give up. It's totally doable. It's a steep learning curve, but you can get it done.
Yeah. And it's always at the peak of like where you're about to give up that actually there's an epiphany moment when you're like, oh my God, I got it. You know, just
Yeah.
like when you're about to give up, the solution is around the corner. So I know, I know.
And Alexandra, I'm curious to know about a little bit about your like journey. You know, if you had any challenges that maybe impacted your career goals and whatnot. I'm curious to know about a little bit about your motherhood journey too.
Yeah, thank you. You're so kind. It is true. I don't like to talk too much about it, but this is a perfect way to actually share,
Yeah.
since we are sharing tough times. I am a mom of three. I gave birth to three babies. My first son in my first marriage unfortunately had condition. He was born with this condition called hydrocephalus, which means a lot of fluid in the brain. And so from 8 weeks on, he needed to be on, he was born full term, 41 weeks in fact. But 8 weeks to his checkup, we realized his brain was damaged and needed to be surgery right away to save his life. The symptoms before that, it was a lot of crying. For 8 weeks, he was like, all he wanted was, luckily breastfeeding was first thing he did so well. So I was so happy, like you, to be able to feed him the best quality food there is there. So breastfeeding was his thing. But the 8 weeks, we finally found out why he was in so much pain. He seemed to be crying. Everybody was telling me it's colicky. Your milk has too much garlic, because I'm Greek. You eat too much garlic and it's making him cry, and too much.
That's okay.
It was his brain was not able, the fluid in his head was pushing his head so much that he needed to be in a brain surgery right away. They opened his skull, they drained the extra fluid, they put a little tube that goes all to his tummy. So he had that implant that saved his life. Amazing surgeon, did this so well. And of course, like you experienced, 8 weeks old baby was tagged with all machines and tubes and oh my God, these things that keep them alive, right?
Yeah.
And so like you, I wanted to him to wake up from his anesthetic and go straight to the boob. So I was able to breastfeed him with all the tubes and cables attached to him, and that brought me so much joy. Like it was amazing that he just launched on right away and he was on it, like boom, there was no question, that's what he needed. And
Yeah.
obviously his life was short because his conditions were so rare and so difficult for life, so he was not able to live further his fifth birthday. But for the 5 years we experienced together, because also we were alone, just the two of us, we ended up somehow, life brought it this way that we were just doing life, the two of us. So I managed to do so much for him for 5 years, knowing that his life is going to be short. So we traveled. He was born in Minnesota. We traveled to Vancouver. We traveled to Australia. We traveled to Belgium, to Greece. He went to a sailing trip in Greece on a special sailing boat for disabled. And he had the most amazing wheelchair, because we moved to England. And right back then, England had the most amazing resources for single moms taking care of the children with disabilities. So that's how I was able to do this life with him, because moving back to England, I had him an amazing school, an amazing doctor in Oxford University, in Oxford School. And so for the 5 years we were together, even though it was really hard financially, we did it. We had a lot of care, government care, and that's when Pilates came, because my back started to be impossible to lift him, because he was a long boy. At 3 years old, he was quite long, tall guy for a 3-year-old, and because his body was like a bag of potatoes. He was not able, because of his condition, he was not able to hold his spine. He was not able to hold his head. So he was like a 6 months old baby, you know,
Yeah.
for the rest of his life. So a 6 months old baby at 3 years old. So he was getting heavy, and I knew I needed to do something to take care of myself.
Yeah.
But it was not like my pursuit. My pursuit was like, first thing, take care of him. He was my number one priority. So I had to order a big fitness ball, because when he's on that giant ball, we can do his occupational therapy exercises for his neck, and he was able to relax his muscles, because he was going through that condition called cerebral palsy,
Okay.
when his muscles were contracting all the time.
Okay.
His brain could not relax and control, his mind was not able to control his body. So these muscles were contracting uncontrollably. So when I was bouncing him on that giant ball, he was able to relax his muscles and really just be himself and start laughing and enjoying life, right? So I ordered this big ball, and in this ball, there was a Pilates DVD. It came with the ball.
Wow.
So so this Pilates DVD back in the days, like we're talking about 2007,
Yeah.
it had 30 minutes videos. It was just all I could do, 30 minutes. And so I was, every day I started doing them, and I felt so strong and almost like a new person. Like I felt happier. I felt like more energetic. I could carry on longer. I had more stamina. You know, I was able to endure a long day with him, because at night he was not sleeping much either. So this is where I was like, somehow God sent me this tool, and I was like able to maintain my posture, my strength. I started to have like a six-pack. I was holding him with ease. I could lift him up from his bed to his wheelchair, from his wheelchair to the bath, from the bath back to the wheelchair. It was really much easier for me. And because I was working on a computer as well, I needed that support. So that's where Lovejoy 30 minutes classes came about, because I know that even 30 minutes, a mama can make the time, and even just a short 30 minutes, it gives you the energy and the strength you need, whatever you're going through, whatever the heavy tasks, mentally or physically. And thanks to my boy, I now have Lovejoy. And Lovejoy came because when Facebook was opened in 2006, I think, I didn't want to have my real name. So I was like Alexandra Lovejoy.
Okay.
So I just came up with this nickname,
Okay.
and because I wanted to share a little bit about my son on media without having our full names in there. So I
Yeah.
was like, if I'm full of love and joy, I'm gonna do this better. I'm gonna be a better single mom. So I kept the name, and it's working so far for a lot of my clients. So I'm really happy that my little guy is still alive with this, with his energy through this mobile app.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate you sharing that with us so much. It's such a beautiful journey, and I think that it really speaks to how, as moms, things are going to come our way. Unexpected challenges and obstacles are going to come our way. But even in the midst of those hard times, such positive things could come about, such light and joy could come about. Like, you had no idea that you were going to get this Pilates video and it was going to set a vision off in your mind, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
like, now you're able to bring that piece of you, that love and that joy, to the mothers that you serve. Like, it's incredible. I just think that as moms, one, just listening to your story, as women, actually, we are we have such like good intuition, and the fact that people were questioning your diet, and like maybe that was why he was upset. When your kid, when there's a little bit more going on there, we have to follow our intuition.
yes, yeah, yeah.
and and
Um,
and two, like, that's just incredible to hear how like Lovejoy started.
yes,
Yeah.
that's the birth. And thank you for giving me a chance to tell my story, because it's not always easy. I sometimes I get emotional, other times I'm super cool about it. But that's a little life there that I want to honor as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's he still lives in my heart. So yes, since then I did a crazy nutrition change in my system. After I lost him, I found my husband, and I wanted to really be a mom again, but I was so scared that it would be problematic. So I started doing juice detox, and I went raw diet, vegetarian, drinking coconut water, coconut milk straight from the source, and I was just like determined to clean my body, thinking it's all my fault because, that's what moms do. We feel guilty.
Yeah.
So then I had, without knowing, in our wedding day, I got pregnant, and then wow, it was just like the most healthiest girl in the world. She eats everything. Thank God she eats everything. And then we did it again with the little boy. So, and that's why I said I need to do something, because I want to spend more time with them. Like you, I want to be there for them. And what a better way to get back into shape after having a third baby at 43. So I was like, I need Pilates back into my life, and not just like a hobby. It needs to be a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's a lifestyle now, baby, and I want to tell the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's so hard. Like, when it comes to nutrition and fitness, like, we know how important it is. And like, we we've heard the benefits of good nutrition and good fitness over and over again. It's just hard to like establish that consistency, establish that lifestyle as
Yeah,
moms, because we have so much things going on.
yeah,
But like, we have to keep reminding ourselves that good nutrition and fitness is like the most basic form of self-care.
yeah,
Like, and if we're not honoring that, it's going to be so hard to show up as the woman you want to be, the mother you want to be, the wife you want to be. Like, it's going to be so hard to show up in as your best self in other areas of your life.
yeah,
So even just making very small steps, small changes. And it's okay if you can't be consistent all the time and every day. But the fact that you're making that effort to focus on your nutrition, or to do a 15-30 minutes Pilates class, like, you're doing yourself such a good service. So I think it's important to just, as moms, we need to give ourselves some grace. It's
yeah,
not going to be a consistent thing all the time, but the more you develop that, the the quicker and easier it is to become a lifestyle. and not
Yeah.
just a diet or like a thing you
Yeah.
do for a phase of, you know?
A thing you do to wear that dress for one time,
Yeah.
you know. It's not a bikini diet. It's not like it's a life health, you know, matter of fact, you know. You want to be a better mom, to be the best mom, you need to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's like it's not a joke anymore, especially with how what's happening to our food these days. We know we are near US, and we know
Yeah.
the pesticides and the antibiotics that stick into the meats, and how they want instant growth, you know, instant
Yeah.
corn now.
Very.
I want my big steak now. How can we make it faster? You know, all these things though are going into our body, and we need to like be able to appreciate that if we are, you know, taking care of our body, these things will not affect us as much as someone who is not, who is oblivious and is not taking action. So yeah, that's why the wellness Lovejoy app comes, you know.
Yeah.
And so far we have Kalifa with making food awareness for moms, for breastfeeding moms, and for the little ones, because there's a lot of advice out there. None of it is the best. So you are, you know, you studied your craft, you qualified, you're registered, you done your clinical nurse work, so definitely qualified for this. And then we have our mindset coach. She's going to take us through the meaning of the breath, and how, you know, our mind plays tricks into our lives, and how we
Mm-hmm.
should, you know, have positive thinking and thoughts that are oozing out of ourselves and make our life and our family life better, right? This is the thing. When we are nourishing ourselves, we kind of ignite that to our kids and our husbands and our households. You know, it's kind of mirrors this. So we need to, it's like super important to be able to take care of ourselves, not because we're selfish, but because it's necessary, because we have to, for the best quality of life or our family
We do.
life.
I'm so excited that you have a mindset coach in your app, because I feel like mindset is literally the foundation to like everything.
Everything.
Um, it's so important, and it's also a reason why I wanted to introduce a little bit of nutritional mindfulness in my book as well. It's also a reason why I have repetitive affirmations throughout my book, because
Yes.
I know mindset is so key. And
Yeah.
like I made this I know I'm going back to the book, but it's because you brought up the mindset piece.
Yes. Yes. Go
Um,
for it.
it's just an added element. Like, so the book is educational, yes. And it's a resource for picky eaters, yes. But the fact that you could start laying the foundation for a healthy relationship with food at such a young age. And just reading can start that. And
Yeah.
so that's why I really feel like, you know, repetitive, positive self-talk affirmations are key. That's why I included those throughout the book, and that's basically the basis for the title,
Yeah.
right? It's eating these foods makes me, and then it goes into a
Show us
positive
a little
word.
page. Open the book. Put it on the camera. We want to see.
Sure, sure. So I have. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can see it. So what
eating
is?
these foods makes me, and then it says smart. And so
Yes.
a little girl in a wheelchair, and she's reading her book, and she's learning. And then on the very next page, I have some real photo images of foods. And these foods all represent foods that have healthy fats in them. So it goes into now talking about here
Yeah.
the the way how these healthy fats, the role that they play in our brains, right, in
Yeah.
helping
Yeah.
our brains function and grow. And so I really try to take like big nutrition concepts and really, you know, display them in a way that's simplified and engaging for kids so they
Yeah.
could start to understand, you know. um by the way, it's just so happened that I opened up that page by accident, but like I also wanted to have illustrations that really represent children
Yeah.
from diverse ethnicities, cultures, and even medical conditions. So that's why I included the little girl in the wheelchair. And there are also hidden disabilities like ADHD that, you know, we
Yeah.
don't necessarily see, but that need to be represented in books as well, right?
Yes, yes.
So
Nutrition. Seriously, I remember when they were telling me that because my son had epilepsy, they were telling me that keto diet is important for him, that
yeah,
the nutrition from the keto diet could actually eliminate his medication. And I was like, I would try anything for, to stop the medication, which was making him so seductive and
yeah,
lethargic and sleepy, just to hypnotize his muscles. So I mean, I would try anything first with nutrition before any medicine. It's 100%, everybody should do that. And I love that you put real pictures because it's very important to express, this is what it looks like. This is your food, right? It's like realistic.
yeah.
And yeah, and I appreciate the effort on making sure all the kids from different backgrounds are included
Yeah.
in your book. So well done. Really proud of you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
girl. Anybody, by the way, who's interested, you could learn more about it on my website. It's www.kalifarodriguezbooks.com. And the book is on Amazon. It's in Barnes and Noble here in the States. It's at Chapters and Indigos here in Canada. So there's lots of places that you could purchase a copy for yourself if you wanted to. But
Yeah.
yeah, really encourage you to go learn more. I have some really good blogs on that website. So
Yes. And what is it called again? Just say one more time.
eating these foods makes me.
Makes me, yeah. Makes me smart, makes me
Yes.
clever. Yes, I get it. Yes.
Yeah,
So, how do you feel about doing a little bit of Pilates moves here for your breastfeeding mamas?
I need it.
Yeah? Yeah? Let's do it. All we need is a chair. We're staying where we are. I'm just going to go a little bit more backwards so you can see better. I'm going to get the screen down a little bit. Yeah. So, basically, what's happening when you're breastfeeding, you're holding your baby and you have your shoulders coming really high up, right? And then you start having upper back issues, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to grab our hands and place them behind our head, but you don't want your head cranked like this. You want it to be exactly over your ribs, okay, over your spine. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to promote and exaggerate this movement with the shoulders up to the ears, and we take a breath in here, and then as you exhale, we want to drop the shoulders so that we know this is where we need to be. Okay, so when you're feeling the pressure rising, do it on purpose so that you bring your shoulders up into your ears for one breath. And then when you exhale, you release the shoulders down. Okay, now we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together at the back. So this is going to make you lift your chest high, right? So you're going to lift your chest high and your head, and profile view is an extension. So you're extending the spine, you're squeezing the shoulder blades together, and you want to really reach the collarbone up into the ceiling. So you're gonna feel a little bit uncomfortable, right? That movement, yeah, because it's the opposite of what you're doing. So we want to encourage the blood flow back then. So let's squeeze the shoulder blades again together for one breath, and then exhaling, we're gonna come back in front, and then we're gonna keep going to help our neck. So but drop your shoulders like we did, and then lengthen the neck forward. So we're looking for a length here. Breathing in, and then exhaling, we're coming back straight. So first exercise is this one. Second is opening the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades behind, coming back, and then leaning forward with the neck really long, shoulders always down. And the next one here is a bit of rotation. So we're coming back up, and we want to rotate to the side. Because we're sitting, this is amazing because we isolate the upper body only. So you stay here and you pulse. 1, 2, 3, come back to the center. Make sure your shoulders are really low. Yeah, verify. Yeah, and then go for the other side and twist, pulsing here. 1, 2, 3, and then come back to the center. And then we're going to do a little side stretch here. So going all the way down. So you want one elbow pointing to the ground and one pointing to the ceiling. and then breathe. Exhaling, come back center. Make sure again shoulders are low. Inhale, exhale. We're gonna go to the other side. Okay, if it feels uncomfortable in places, it means you really need to stay in that place a little longer. Yeah? How does it feel?
Yeah.
Better? And then you
I
lift the
definitely
arm.
feel tense, so I know I got to do this a little more
Yeah.
after.
So drop the shoulders, arms go up, and then as your arms go down, you want to feel a length. You want to feel that neck and spine rising. Yes, beautiful. And let's do it one more time. Lift the arms up, breathe in, drop the shoulders, exhaling, arms down slowly. Yes, and I already feel much better. And a little bit of a neck work here. So grab your shoulders and just lean one side, and then lean forward, and then lean to one side, and then look towards the shoulder. Look, and then go circle back up, look the other shoulder, and then lean to the side and front. So neck circles as well, very important. That's it. So shoulder drops, chest extension, flexion forward, twist, side, and neck rolls. Yeah? 5 moves. 5 moves. You can do them in 5 seconds. Well, actually, we took 5 minutes to do them. So, I hope you guys enjoyed our session with Kalifa. It's going to be saved into our profile so you can reference and go back again. And at the end of the year, I'm going to cut all the juicy bits of every live I've done. So we're going to have a 2023 live wrap with all the best bits so that you'll save your time so you can have the best pieces of every guest speaker we had here. And Kalifa is not just a guest speaker, she's hosting her own spot in the Lovejoy app. Don't forget, we are having a discount for my Lovejoy mamas that want to access the resources of Kalifa, 20% off, and Kalifa can offer her mamas 20% off to do Pilates at Lovejoy. So enjoy the rest of your day. And Kalifa, tell us how you feel after this.
I feel so much better. I'm gonna definitely do some more after this live because I need it. I definitely need it. But I love that it's just 5 movements that you could do, like
Yes,
as you're seated. I
yeah,
could tie off the boot and then do some Pilates. So
yes,
so
exactly. And if you can visualize your spine, you know, our spines is supposed to move in every plane and every direction, not just like over the baby, you know, extending, twisting, side. So we encourage a mobility of the spine. We don't want it to get stiff. That's when the pain starts, when we stop moving in all directions. That's why I encourage all these little planes and movements and directions so that your spine gets to stay fluid and mobile and no pain for sure.
Yay! Thanks,
Thank you, Mama. Anything you want to share before we close?
No, I actually, thanks for everybody who tuned in.
Yes, thank
Those who
you.
are watching right now, I see you. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. No, this was such a lovely chat, and I hope we could do this again.
Yes, we're definitely going to do it in the new year when we have new things to launch, new things to share.
Yeah.
And Celeste is going to be joining us in the next live next Tuesday. There's a little chance here to shout to Celeste. She's going to do a meditation for us.
Ooh.
She's going to help us to relax and really embrace the present moment. So I'm really curious to see how Celeste is going to drive our next live here on Instagram. And with that, I give you big hugs and kisses all the way from Quebec and Montreal. Take care, LOVJOY mamas, and talk to you soon, Kalifa. Bye-bye.
Bye, mamas. Have a lovely day.
Have a lovely day, everyone. Okay.